It's Ash from Super Videos back for another video for season 8 of The Walking Dead. In this video we're going to be talking about who will kill Simon. So if you watched my death predictions video, you know that I think Simon, who is Negan's right hand man, is one of the main saviors that we're going to see die in season 8. Now the question is, who is going to kill him? There are many candidates that can take that spot in killing Simon. So we're just going to go through these candidates and look into whether it's a good idea for them to be the one that kills Simon or not. So this video contains a little bit of comic spoilers, so if you're not caught up with the Walking Dead's comic book until after All Out War, or if you don't follow the comics, you may not want to watch this video because it may spoil things for you. So that being said, let's get right into this. So the first candidate, who's the obvious one, is Rick Grimes himself. So in the comics, Rick doesn't kill Negan. He puts him in a jail cell, and it's very likely that they're going to adapt that storyline and bring it to the show as well, and have Rick not kill Negan. Now, if Rick doesn't kill Negan, he needs to kill one of the main saviors so that there's some kind of reward for the fans. In the comics, it worked for Rick not to kill any savior or main savior because there wasn't a lot of time between, that issue when the war ended and the next story started. Just 1 month. But in the show, if they do that and they have All Out War end at the end of season 8, then there's a 6 months period in between. That's way too long of a wait for there to be no reward. So there definitely needs to be a reward, and if Rick doesn't kill Negan, he has to kill the next best thing, which is Negan's right-hand man, Simon himself. So Rick is the main candidate in terms of killing Simon. Then going from there, the next candidate would be Daryl. Obviously Daryl is a big character, and they usually give him some of the main story arc or some big elements from the story, from the comics. So it's definitely possible for them to give that kill to Daryl, so have Daryl kill Simon. Now, I don't think that's the best idea in terms of story, but because Daryl is one of the fan favorites, and because he's been getting a lot of these big moments, then it would kind of make sense. The third person is Dwight. How crazy would it be if Dwight kills Simon? Obviously, the reward is not that great because it's not one of our survivors or the characters that we love or we've grown to love that kills Simon. It's Dwight, who hasn't completely redeemed himself yet. So in one hand, it's not a great reward for the fans, but on the other hand, it could be a great opportunity for them to redeem Dwight's character, have him kill Negan's right-hand man, or Simon. So I think that would be a very interesting turn of events if something like that happens. The next character is Eugene. Obviously, Eugene at this point is with Negan and the Saviors. So what would be the best thing for Eugene and for his character and his storyline, and to turn his story upside down and have him come back, is for him to kill Simon. That would do two things. One, it would kind of redeem him a little bit again and make characters like him again. But also at the same time, he proves himself. He proves that he can do things like that. He can kill one of the main saviors, who is Simon. So Eugene is definitely up there as well. Although he's not the one I would go with. I would actually tell you the two people that I want to see do this at the end of the video. So the last character is Maggie. So the only thing connecting Maggie to the discussion here is that Maggie's at the hilltop. So if you remember, Simon is the main savior that deals with the hilltop. And, he was even there when Maggie was hiding, and Maggie almost got caught by Simon. So there's that aspect. But at the same time, we know at this point Maggie is beginning to get a more leadership position at the hilltop, and she's beginning to replace Gregory. So that's another aspect. So it would make perfect sense for Maggie, who is the somewhat new leader of the hilltop, to kill the main savior that's dealing with the hilltop, who is Simon. And there's a little bit of a reward, not just for fans, but also for Maggie as well. Because of course, Glenn got killed, obviously, in the premiere of season 7, and Simon was one of the main saviors that was responsible for capturing Glenn in the first place. Dwight was one of them as well, but I feel like Simon had a lot to do with that as well, or I would think he did. So now, in terms of who I would choose, so there's two characters that I would definitely be interested to see kill Simon. One is Rick Grimes, the other is Dwight. For Rick, it's a great reward, it's going to be an epic moment, it's a great thing. But for Simon, maybe the reward is not where it needs to be for fans, especially non-comic readers, but there's something else there that would move Dwight's storyline forward and make it a little interesting, to be honest. And it would also be a way to remix this story. It would actually be a pretty big remix of the story. Simon being there, being Negan's right-hand man is already a remix, but having Dwight, who's on the same team, kill him is another component of it that's going to add more complexities and make the storyline more interesting. But I want to know your opinions about this. Who do you think should kill Simon? Let me know in the comment section below. That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video.